up for a moment. We feel like we'll be lying down shortly, so we'll take a moment to sit. Find what makes you comfortable to sit upright and settle in. As you settle in, take a moment to just notice what's going on in the container of your body right now. Any areas asking for a little extra attention? How's the breath flowing in this moment? And let your attention drop down, rooting down toward the earth and then deeply into it, as if you, like a plant, have roots that can reach down into the earth, grounding you. Especially right now, there might be a sense of being in free fall or like it's Groundhog Day, right? Again and again and again. And there's a part of that where you just gotta surrender to it and be in it. And also, it can be useful to use tangible, physical things to have a sense of regaining the ground underneath us so that we can stand tall and stand for what's important to us and move forward from that space. Let the breath flow in, let the breath flow out. Lower the chin to the chest and slowly roll the head over to one side. Pause when you get there. While you're on that side, you might lightly turn and tilt the head, feeling into this side of the neck, around to the upper back, a little bit forward toward the throat. Make your way to the other side and taking your own time. And as you come around this side, what's it like over here? And now coming back to center. Slowly bring the head to upright again, root down, send your roots down deep into the earth, lengthen the spine skyward, and then rotate the head. So the back of the neck is super long, shoulders melting down away from the ears. Rotate the head, looking over the other shoulder now. And come on back to center. And now with your chin, make circles in the air. And feel free to spiral into different size circles. If you want to make them smaller or larger, reverse the circles. Good, just like that. And come back. From here, lower the chin to the chest, draw the navel in and round the whole length of the spine. Then lift your heart and melt your shoulders. Just like that. Exhale, draw the navel in, around the spine. Inhale, lift the heart, melt the shoulders. Just like that. Saw a little movement out of the corner of my eye. There's like a gopher like chewing on grass, nibbling on and snacking over there. How you doing? And then from here, make rib circles, generous circles. Rolling down, you can tilt on the sitting bones a little or a lot. Reverse it. And come on back to center. If your legs are crossed, take a moment to change the cross of your legs. And once you're resituated, take the right hand over to the side, the left hand behind the head, root down, lengthen up. And if you like, reach the top arm. Nice, spacious side bend. And send your breath into this side of the rib cage and waist that's getting more spacious. If you want, add your own gentle movement. There might be some turning or twisting or tilting in here. Listen to your body. This is your practice. When you're ready, come back to center, change sides. Side bend over to the other side. Breathe while you're here. And then create your own movement on this side. It might be still, it might be dramatic, or anything in between. When you're ready, inhale, come to center, raise both arms up overhead. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale again, reach up, and cactus arms. Just like that, but this time, twist to the right with your cactus arms. Stay right there, lower the arms, sit nice and tall, and again, reconnect to your roots, growing deep, and your spine lengthening skyward. Look over the shoulder, maybe look into the corner of your eyes, like how far back behind you can you see in this direction. Take another 2 breaths. And slowly, gently unwind. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, cactus arms, and twist the other way. Then lower the arms, stay in the twist. Send your roots down deep, lengthen the spine up tall, and breathe, looking over the shoulder and into this corner of the eyes. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Unwind gently. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, the arms come down and start to lean forward any amount. If you want to rearrange the legs, if that leg position is not your favorite for leaning forward, you can change. And at first, we've got kind of a long spine, but then let things soften. Let the shoulders relax, the neck, the head, the jaw. Reach out as much as you like. So if you want to really stretch out with straight arms, kind of creeping your fingers away from you, you can do that. If you prefer to have the arms more relaxed, you can do that. Deep breath over the back body. Yeah, that's it. And then walk the hands back in. And come on up, unwind your legs. And let's bring the feet flat to the mat, the knees bent, and the feet are fairly wide apart, setting up for a seated windshield wiper with the knees, side to side. And this also, you can make more or less effortful. You can lean on the hands if you like, or if you want to do it more as a strengthener for the core, you can do it with the arms out to the sides. Your bum is free to come up as you're going from side to side. It doesn't have to stay completely on the mat. All right, come on back to center and lie down. Lie down, hug your knees into your chest, rock side to side. As you're hugging and rocking, relax your neck, your jaw. Place the left foot down and take the right leg wherever your ankle is free to rotate. It can be up in the air, down on the mat. And then go the other way. Now from here, let the knee bend, same leg, circle the knee around with or without the hand. Moving from the hip joint gently. Go the other way around. There's a squirrel in the tree above me, and as he's running around the branches, bits of tree bark are falling on my head. So like the hazards of yoga in the wild. All right, come back to center, place the foot down. And then the other leg, find a position where the ankle is free to rotate. Nice, easy. Reverse direction. And now let the knee bend and circle the knee around, moving from the hip. Go the other way. And touch the foot down. Bring the right knee into the chest. Keep the right knee hugged in, and stretch the other leg out long on the mat. So establish a bit of a push-pull. As you're pulling the right knee in, you're pushing the left foot away. And see how far away from each other the right knee and the left foot can get. Now from here, keep the energy in the bottom leg and a bit of a hug in all around the torso so that your pelvis stays right where it is as your right knee goes out to the side. Bring it out on an inhale and back into center on an exhale. Only the leg and the arm move. The pelvis and the bottom leg stay put. Out to the side on an inhale, back to center on an exhale. Continue that rhythm. Go at your own breathing pace. And the next time your knee goes out to the side, leave it there. Let the inner thigh get a bit of stretch. And you can use the right arm as an assistant. It can help kind of hold the leg and help this leg find a sweet spot of stretchiness. Now you can support, you can support it with a block if that feels better. And come back into center. Hug both knees into the chest. Rock a little side to side. And let's switch sides. First, the left knee hugs in and the right leg stretches out long, pulling the left knee in, pushing the right foot away. Breathing while you're here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now we start to take the knee out to the side, same rhythm. Inhale as the knee goes out. Exhale, bring the knee back to center. Inhale and exhale. Bottom leg and the pelvis stay steady. And the next time the knee goes out to the side, leave it there with any amount of support you like. Breathe here. Bring the knee back in. Touch the foot down. Touch both feet down. Knees are bent, feet are flat. This kind of scooch and wriggle yourself to center. Heel toe your feet mat width apart, wider if you like. Take the arms generously wide and windshield wipers side to side. Move at a steady pace all the way over to one side, wherever all the way is, and then all the way over to the other side. Feel free to use the edges of the feet and push into them a little bit to explore the end range of motion on each side. And visit side to side one last time. Come on back to center. Bring the feet in a little closer. And let's bring the right knee into the chest, hold behind the thigh, and we'll get a hamstring stretch while we're here. Either behind the thigh or on the clothing, stretch the right leg up in the air until you feel some bit of hamstring stretch in the back of the thigh. While you're getting the stretch in the back of the leg, flex and point the foot. See if that gives a little bit of extra something to the hamstring stretch. If it's too much, dial it down a little bit. If it's not much of anything, lean in a little bit. When you're ready, same leg, bend the knee, right leg only, happy baby. Hold where you want to hold, behind the thigh or walking up the shin toward the foot. Once you get your hand placed, rock side to side. Gentle rocking motion, bringing the knee toward the ground. And then release. In between sides, bring your hands to the tops of the thighs and press your thighs away. Zip up the belly. Inhale, relax. Exhale, press the thighs away. Inhale, relax one last time. Press the thighs away. And then release. Now the other leg goes up in the air to stretch the back of the thigh. So however bent the knee winds up being is just fine as long as you're getting the stretch. And once you're feeling medium amount of stretch in the back of the leg, flex and point the foot. Feel into the length down the back of this leg. It may be different than the other side. Appreciate the uniqueness of this leg, of this breath. And release the hands and touch the foot down. From here, we'll do it's core strengthening, but it's also hip releasing. Keep the left knee bent and stretch the right leg out long on your mat. The leg is in neutral. So we've been playing around with this type of movement for a bit. So there are 3 varieties, 3 different ways we'll come up, and we'll do 3 of each of them. So 3, 3, and 3, and then the other side. I'll show the different varieties before we actually do them together. We'll pull the navel in. Variety 1 is knee to the chest with just the right leg, and we come down nice and slow. Variety number 2 is the knee comes to its own elbow as we come up, and nice and slow to come down. And variety number 3 is the knee comes in much like number 1, but we add a little twist. The opposite elbow goes toward the knee. And each time, really take your time, especially in stretching out the leg. That extra time under tension will benefit the hip flexors especially. All right, hands behind the head, right leg stretched out. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, pull the navel down, bring the knee toward the nose, curling up. Inhale, slowly lower down, stretch the leg all the way out, heel to the mat. And again, same thing, pull the navel in, knee to chest. And slowly stretch it out. Draw the knee into chest, exhale. Slowly stretch it out. Now the knee finds its own elbow. Knee goes out to the side as you come up. And slowly stretch it out. Knee to the elbow, curling up. And slowly stretch it out. One more, knee to elbow. And slowly stretch it out. Now the twist. Bring the knee to the chest, then twist. And slowly stretch it out. Knee to the chest and twist. Slowly stretch it out. Last time. And twist. Now slowly stretch it out. Leave the right leg stretched out long. Take the arms and reach them overhead, any amount. They might be wide, they might be more narrow, they might be up higher or closer to the mat. Stretch as long as possible with the arms going in one direction and that one straight leg going in the other direction. Feel the length in the right side. Take another breath here. And exhale, release. Bring the arms down, bend the knee. And we change legs. The left leg stretches out all the way on the mat to start. Hands go behind the head. We'll start with knee to chest. Remember your abs. Pull the belly button in, bring the knee to the chest, curl up as high as you want, and slowly lower down. Inhale. Exhale, draw the knee in, curling up, and slowly lower down. One more like that, curling up, and slowly lower down. And then knee to its own elbow, curling up, and slowly lower down. Knee to elbow, curling up, and slowly lower down. Last one like this, curling up, and slowly lower down. Last three, knee to chest and twist. Slowly lower down. Second time, twist. Slowly lower down. Last one, twist. Slowly lower down. Leave the heel on the mat, the leg stretched out long. Take both arms overhead, narrow or wide. Feel the length on the left side. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Release the arms. Bend the knees. From here, feet flat on the mat, knees are bent, and setting up for bridge pose. So if you prefer a supported bridge, if you've got a blanket or a block nearby, you can do this supported, or you can do a dynamic bridge, moving up and down continuously. So I'll show the dynamic bridge. Press into the feet slowly. Curl the tailbone up, squeeze the glutes, as if the glutes are responsible for lifting you, because kind of they largely are. And then gradually, if you want to, reach the arms overhead as you lift, you can. And then bring the arms down and slowly lower. If you prefer to leave the arms down or have another arm position, then do that. Inhaling on the way up and exhaling on the way down. If you're doing the supported version, when you lift up, slide your support underneath, settle in so that you feel evenly supported, and stay right there. Now, if you're in the supported version and you want to get an extra stretch to the front of the thigh, to the hip flexors, you might reach one or both legs out. Listen to what you notice, especially in the front of the thighs and in the low back. If the low back feels like it's getting kind of crowded and cranky, back up on the leg position, bend the knees a bit more. And then when you're ready, from whatever position you're in, well, let's stay here for another moment. If you've done the active version of bridge, come down to your mat. If you're in the supported version, whenever you're ready, you might remove the support. Then take happy baby. Once you're all the way down, hugging the knees. Knees are wide. Soles of the feet to the ceiling. And breathe. Take it nice and easy, side to side. Rock over to one side. And from this side, we'll do a little bow and arrow. So you might bend both knees, stack the hips. If you're being more conservative about your low back or your sacrum, this might be a nice choice for today with the knees stacked. Kind of keeps things steady, and there's not as much movement in the low back and the pelvis. Or you can bend the top knee, bring it to a blanket or bring it to your mat, and stretch the bottom leg out long. Support your head any way that's comfortable. Reach your top arm out in front of you. Bend the elbow. Pull the elbow back. Draw your bow and arrow. Unfurl the arm behind you. Just like that, slowly, gently. Over to the side, reach out. Maybe reach out a little further than you might naturally. Then pull the elbow back, chest to the sky. Take your time. Might take one inhale to open up. It might take a couple of breaths. You can always add extra breaths. Move at your pace. Honor your body. Now let's change the pattern slightly to make circles. Really generous circles that incorporate the twist into them. Slowly up and overhead, opening up into the twist, coming around the hip. Good, just like that. See how large a circle? It might even start to look like an oval because you're adding the side to side twisting element. Now reverse. Again, take your time, take it at your very own pace. All the way around. And on this last one, stay in the twist. Arms where you like them, close in or spread out wide, or one of each maybe. Head resting where it feels supported. And breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe along the gentle spiral of the spine. Invite the breath to flow into the side of the rib cage that's facing skyward. Even let the breath flow into that side of the upper chest and the collarbone, the shoulder. Let it fill you up and gently empty out. A few more breaths right here. Generous breaths. Roll onto your side and come over to the other side. Yeah, sometimes the grass is itchy. All right, as you come on over to the other side, same thing here. We'll start out in our either knees stacked or one leg straight. whichever one you did on side one. If you're bending one knee, it's the top knee that bends, the bottom leg is the straight one. Support your head, top arm reaches out. And bow and arrow is our first movement. And since we'll be repeating this, take your time. Let your body gradually open up. There's no hurry. Explore reaching maybe a little further out in front of you. Opening up as much into the twist as the body says yes to. And as you finish up the one you're on now, turn this into circles. Generous circles up and around over the hip. Breathing. And just like that, enlarge the circles if you like. What does that feel like? Reverse direction. What's it like in this direction? Is there a different sense of how much space is available? Maybe the body is opening into being more comfortable with the movement in general. Notice what you notice. Notice what is happening in the container of you. When you're ready, open into the twist and stay there. Let gravity work on you here and guide the breath gently up the twisty spiral of your spine. Deep breath in and let it go. Generous breath in and out. If you like, if your right knee is the bent one, bring your left hand over to the right knee. If it feels nice to have the arms spread out wide, you could do that instead. Take a few more breaths as the bluebirds fly around. And gently come over onto your side. Let's turn ourselves over and come to hands and knees. And from this position, we'll glide from tabletop back into child's pose, and we'll use the rhythm of the breath. As you exhale, press into the hands, glide the hips back. As you inhale, glide forward back to tabletop. The feet can be close or separate. And sometimes as you're moving back and forth, you'll find that sweet spot of how wide to have the knees and the feet. And the next time that you glide back to child's pose, stay there. Breathe. Find a comfortable position for the head, where the neck is really happy about it. You can rest the forehead on your mat or on a block or in the air. And here again, there's the option to really reach out with straight arms. What does that feel like? Or let the elbows bend and the arms rest. What does that feel like? If the arms are relaxing, energize them a bit. Come up part way to walk the hands over to one side. Taking a side stretch in child's pose. Sometimes I like to stack the hands, and that gives a feeling, for me, gives a feeling of like a little extra stretchiness over on that side. It also gives me a nice a nice headrest out of my arms. Take a couple more breaths right here. And change sides. Walk over to the other side. Breathe here. Notice, does it feel different on this side? It might. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhaling, exhaling. Walk the hands back to center. Return to tabletop. Take the right leg back behind you. And stretch the leg out with the toes tucked underneath. Rock forward and back so you find the calf stretch as you lean back. And as you press the ball of the foot and the toes in, find a little toe stretch, well, maybe more than a little. Set your own pace. Rock forward over the toes to feel that area, and then glide back, press into the hands to find the calf stretch. The back leg is straight, the heel is reaching long. Neck and head are wherever they want to be. And release, change sides. And find a pace that works for you, gliding back, feeling the calf stretch. Gliding forward into the toe stretch. Just like that. And release. As you come back to tabletop, now circle the hips and the shoulders. Feel free to reverse direction, to add spirals or figure eights in there. Trust your body, trust your inner body wisdom, your intuition. Now ease back to our tabletop position. From here, tuck the toes underneath, and as you exhale, zip up the belly, lift the knees, and we're in downward facing dog. From your down dog, do what you like to do. What's it like if the hips lean over to one side? Maybe over to the other side. Maybe the feet pedal. When you're ready, bend the knees more and more and more and more until you shift forward and the knees touch very lightly down on your mat. Glide the hips back, reach the arms forward. We're in child's pose. And then let's smush those together a couple times. Inhale to tabletop. Tuck the toes, exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, touch the knees down, tabletop. Exhale, glide the hips back, child's pose. Inhale, glide forward, tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Just like that. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. One more time through tabletop. Exhale to downward facing. Continue at your own pace. And when you're back in child's pose, stay there and breathe with the arms relaxed. With the arms in the upper back, rest a moment. And now if you have a block or something, or a water bottle can work too, you'll hold it sideways on the ends. So you have something that you can hold in between your hands like that with the palms right on the ends of it. And we'll be on our forearms. And the setup is like this. The forearms and the elbows will be on the mat. The palms stay holding onto the block. It's not the like curling around with the hands. It's the whole hand from the heel to the fingers. And then shift your shoulders back a bit. Your head may or may not touch the ground. That part's not so very important, but get the shoulders behind the elbows because we're doing a little upper back exploration here. Your bum stays in the air. Your hips are maybe just a touch behind the knees, but not like child's pose. They're not that far. They're not far back at all. Now, holding your block lovingly and lightly, start to lift the block, bending the elbows, as if you want to touch the block to your upper back. It may or may not touch there, but that's the direction we're headed. And then slowly lower the block. Oh, and by the way, check to see that your elbows are hugged in, that they're no wider than the shoulders. If the elbows are out to the side, we'll miss out on the best stuff here. Don't miss out on that good stuff. Now, if you're feeling like, well, I've got pretty good range of motion here in the shoulders and everything feels just fine, then go ahead and add the challenge of resting the head on the mat, leaning the shoulders back perhaps a little further behind the elbows as you repeat that movement. See if you can move in a slow, steady pace. And as you're moving through this, find the place that feels the most awkward and stay there. All about the awkward. Wherever it feels kind of, whether it's awkward and I don't know what I'm doing here, or it's awkward and like, oh, this is where I feel some stretch. It could be any of those things or either of those things. Slowly lengthen the exhale, stay right where you are. And then ease your way down. Release the block. Use your hands and press yourself back to child's pose or any other comfortable position where the shoulders and the neck and the arms are resting. Breathe while you're here. And now, let's ease our way up to tabletop once again, but we'll change the way that we're moving. This time, You can move any blocks off to the side for right now. This time, adding a neck stretch in rabbit pose. So the hands come down to the mat, the elbows bend, but the hands are in pretty close because I'm going to put my head down kind of the top of the forehead, and we're going to roll from high on the forehead to the crown of the head. So our head will wind up upside down. All right, and the hands are here for a little bit of stability, and they can also control like how much you're pressing into your head and supporting your neck. So roll until your chin is towards your chest, the crown of the head is on the mat, and then roll right back. Some days this feels very weirdly good, and I'm not entirely sure why. So see how it feels for you. I know for me, this is one of those poses that definitely some days I'm like, meh, and other days I'm like, oh, this is so good. Why don't I do this every day? And then as you come into that crown of the head position, it's like it's thinking about being the beginning of a tripod headstand. We're not going to tripod headstand, just so we're clear. But give a little push into the hands as if you're creating a stable base that at some future date might become tripod headstand. Just slowly roll back down. Once again, find a resting position for the arms, the shoulders, the head, and the neck. Ease your way up. And from here, we're going to do a kneeling, kind of a kneeling sun salute-ish. We'll come on up to standing on the shins. Press into the tops of the feet and the shins, hug the glutes in, stand tall on the shins. And as you inhale, reach up to the sky. As you exhale, the arms come down, and we'll make our way toward child's pose. Now, if the fold forward feels precarious, touch your hands down. So you have something to like help support you as you glide down. Then stretch the arms forward, the heels back, the hips back, rather. And then pull the arms in, lift the hips, and start to come up, opening the arms out to the sides again. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding down and stretching the arms forward and the hips back. This time, let's add a little halfway up, like we do in a half sun salute. Halfway up, bring the hands partway in, look forward. And back down, child's pose, stretch the arms out. We're coming all the way up onto the shins. Zip up the belly. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's do that again. Inhale, root down, reach up. Exhale, fold down, stretch the arms forward and the hips back. Halfway up, hands come in a little, look forward. Exhale, back to child's pose, stretch out. And now pull the arms in, come up to your shins. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. Release the arms. Take your right foot forward. And left shin down. Breathe while you're here. Let's make this low and stretchy today. So come on down with both hands inside your front foot. And you might scooch, like I'm gonna take my back knee back a little bit, my front foot forward a little bit, and make this a bit longer of a stride, and then drop the hips down into that space. If the floor feels like that's a long way down, try 1 or 2 blocks under your hands to lift the floor up a bit. Make a friendly position. And then, yeah, your intuition is good. Start to rock a little. Do you feel that in, like, as a catch in the hips? Yeah, the other's on the right hip. All right, glide a little forward and back. Now glide the hips forward. Leave the left hand down. So the right foot is forward, the left hand is down, right hand to the thigh, and use your hand on the thigh to add a little twist. Reach the top arm up and breathe. Oh, hello, little gopher guy. And come on back to center. Same leg forward, glide back, and we'll get a hamstring stretch from this position. So same thing with the blocks. You can use them to raise the floor a bit. I'll put this one on the outside so it's easier to see. And listen first to what sensation you feel in the back of the leg or in the hip to determine how high or low to have the torso, whether to add the blocks or not. If it's feeling like a lot of sensation, add some props so you're a bit more upright until you can breathe. Now let's try a little variety for the hamstring stretch. We've been going just after the hamstrings that run right down the center of the leg. Oh, let's say hello. Turn the whole leg out. So the knee and the toes go to the outside. And then lean into the hamstring stretch. See if you feel it more to the outer back of the thigh. Take a few breaths there. We're going to do one more for hamstring number 3. As you come up, bring the leg back to neutral. Now keep going in that direction so the whole leg is internally rotated. Yeah, it's a little weird. And then come as far forward as you like here. Now sometimes the hip will want to hike a lot, so zip up the belly and only internally rotate to where you're like, okay, I can keep my hips kind of sort of feeling square. It's hard to tell in this pose sometimes where the hips are. And then gently come on back. Let's sweep this leg out to the side and then I'm going to move it around. You can do some knee circles or you can just move it out and kick it around and have a little variety in that leg that was just out in front of you. When you're ready, change legs. Bring the left foot forward and the right knee down. And we'll start out with the low stretch, both hands inside the front foot. Elbows can bend. You can go however low the body says yes to. Let the hips drop. And that can be facilitated sometimes by walking the front foot forward, the back knee back a bit, and letting the pelvis come down into that space. Even though the pelvis is dropping down, there's a little bit of an inner lift, an energetic lift upward. So whenever we're anchoring down or even dropping down into something, there's also an opposing upward lift. All right, now let's turn this into a twist. Right hand stays down, left hand goes to the thigh. Long spine, turn your chest toward the bent knee and breathe. How's that hip on this side? Okay. Inhaling and exhaling. Unwind gently. And now the hamstring stretch. So pick up the blocks if they were useful on side 1. Squiggle the front foot out, lifting the toes. Leg is in neutral first of 3 variations. Breathe while you're here. Yeah, you can work flexing and pointing the foot. That can feel like a nice action, sort of a gas pedal, press and release. Hug the muscles around the knee, hug the muscles of the thigh. Breathe while you're here. Now ease up a bit so you've got some room to externally rotate the leg and then come back in. And it may be different, right? Maybe this side is like, oh, wow, I didn't know I had room there. Maybe this side is feeling tighter. So the more kind of feisty and fiery and tender the area you're working with, the more you're going to work with the breath as needed. You might subtly adjust the pose if it feels like there's so much intensity that the deep breath is no longer possible. All right, come on back to center, and now we go to the internally rotated position. The whole leg turning in. I'm going to try not to take my hip up to my armpit on this side. You are going to also do that too. And breathe. Yeah, it looks like that leg goes any way it wants to. I think it's happy. It's almost, is it happier in internal rotation? No. maybe not. All right. And release. We'll swing the leg around and then give that leg a moment to move any way it wants to move. Move around the hip, bend it straight in the knee, and get just things moving and interesting there. All right, release that. Now, by whatever way you like, come to standing, folded over your toes. Hold the elbows if you like, hold your legs if you like. Let the arms hang if you like. Definitely breathe. Bend the knees some. Let the upper body relax. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Then press into the floor, zip up the belly, and slowly come on up. Root down into your feet. Reach the arms up overhead, half sun salute from standing, our usual way of doing it. And exhale. Something catching in there? Okay. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold back down. And press into the feet. Inhale, circle out and up. Hands to your heart. And again, like that. Root down, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Halfway up on the inhale. Fold back down gently. All the way up, root the feet down, zip up the belly, reach up to the sky. And hands to the heart. Release the arms, take the feet a little wider. Maybe at least shoulder width and perhaps wider, not super, super wide. We're going to do a side bend here. Hands rest on the outer legs. And you'll slide over to one side. So press into your feet. And as you're pressing into your left foot, Slide over to the right. Keep pressing into the left foot. Start to reach the left arm overhead, any amount it wants to go. You're in charge, so you can stop at any point if it feels like, oh, that's a bit much. Breathe. Reach up high with the arm. Release the hand. Root down into the feet, zip up the belly, and slide any amount over to the left. Start to reach the right arm. You can reach it more up, you can reach it more over, but anchor the feet and zip up the belly. And breathe while you're here. And the bottom hand is serving as support. Reach up, come to center, and release. Bring the feet a little closer to each other. And let the arms swing. Minimal amount of effort in the arms. And release. Bring the feet in a little bit closer. Find a spot out in front of you that's not moving. Root down, lengthen up, and raise the knee. If you can take hold of the knee and hug it in, do that. If you're like, yeah, that's not happening today, lift it as high as it wants to lift. You might catch it with the hand at the back of the thigh if it can come up that much. You might hug it in further if it wants to come up that high. And then release. Shake your legs out. Yeah, there you go. And then the other leg. Root down into your foot. Zip up the belly. Lengthen the spine. Establish your foundation. And then add the other knee. However high it wants to go. If you fall out, you come back. Breathe. Breathe. Okay? It can be low or higher or anywhere you like. Release. Take the feet shoulder width or wider once again. Actually, let's go a little wider than that. So if you're facing forward on your mat, you might turn sideways so you have a nice sticky mat underneath both feet. Bend the knees, fold down towards your mat. If the hands touch the mat, use the mat. If the hands don't touch the mat, grab a block or some kind of prop to raise the floor up to the height of your hands. Take your right hand to your block and your left hand to your hip. Zip up your belly a lot. Turn your chest to the left. And then turn your chest back down to the floor. Just that. Turn your chest to the left. And then back down one more time. Turn your chest to the left, stay there. Root down into your feet, zip up your belly. And if you want, raise your left arm to the sky. Take 2 more breaths. Slowly unwind and change hands. So go 3 times, and on the third, we stay. Zip up the belly, anchor your feet. Exhale, we twist. Inhale, chest toward the floor. Just like that again, and back. This time into the twist. Keep the feet planted, the belly drawing in, and add the top arm if you want. Unwind. Who are you? Oh, you're a bee. I'm not pollinatable. I'm sorry, honey. When you come back to center, take the hands to the right leg. Anywhere on the leg, high or low, but to the outer leg. So there's a forward bend there, little bit of twist there. Breathe. If it's a little too comfortable, then reach down toward the heel. When you're ready, change sides. Breathe here. And gently come on back. If you want to have an extra moment of a squat, you can bend the knees, lower the hips, and pause there. Take a couple breaths. Anchor the feet. So again, the hips are low, but there's an energetic lift upward. Now release. Have a seat. Stretch your left leg out long, bend your right knee. Use your hands on the bent knee to get tall. And then you choose. You can twist toward the knee or away from the knee, depending on what you're in the mood for. So sometimes twisting toward the knee can feel more like constricted. So if that's the case, then try going the other way. Whatever way you go, one hand goes to the leg and the other one goes kind of behind you. And you can either hold on to the shin or bring the arm to the side that allows you to press into it for leverage in the twist. So, right, if I'm doing an open twist, I bring my arm to the inside. If I'm doing the kind of typical twist where I'm twisting toward the bent knee, the arm hooks to the outside. You'll know, right? If you put it on the wrong side, it won't really help in the twist. Gently release, change legs. And the other thing that can also help if it feels like that upright position is a fight, is lean back while you're doing it. Lean a little back. Find your long spine, twist to the other side, and breathe. Breathe, breathe, and breathe. What's it like on this side? What's it like right now? Gently unwind. Come on down to your back. Hug the knees in and rock. As you hug the knees and rock, take a moment for a hip stretch of your choice. If you like thread the needle, you can do that. You could do sleeping pigeon if you want to use. I'm trying to show different variations this week of hip stretches. We did one with a bolster, a pigeon with a bolster, a couple days ago. This will be sleeping pigeon, just one of the options. You can always choose a different one. If you want to try the sleeping pigeon, the bottom leg stretches out. Both hands are holding on to the bent knee. And we breathe. Take a few more breaths right here. When you're ready, change sides. And crossing the other leg or holding on to that leg. If you're doing sleeping pigeon, stretch the bottom leg out. Again, this is your practice for you to explore as you wish. Inhaling, exhaling. Take a few more breaths to balance out this side. And then unwind. Hug the knees, rock. And you might take a last spinal twist here while reclining. The legs can be any way you wish. Over to one side and then breathe. Breathe down the gentle spiral of the spine. Exhale, come up and over to the other side. Breathing in, breathing out. Take a few more breaths. And then come to center, rock, and stretch out for Shavasana. You might bring the soles of the feet together and the knees out to the sides if that feels nice. You can support the legs if you wish. Have whatever you need to make this comfortable. Close the eyes if you wish. Let the earth support you. Allow the heart to open to sky above. And allow the breath to flow through the entire length of your body like a gentle breeze. Breathing in, breathing out. Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy, peaceful, and free. Again, deepening the breath. Move the fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Inhale, stretch the arms overhead, lengthen out. And when you're ready, bend one knee to the chest, then both knees. Take a moment to rock over to your side. Use your hands to press the earth. Find your way to a seated, upright position. Bring your hands palm over palm right over the heart center. And as you lift the heart and lower the chin, take this opportunity to offer that same wish that we sent out into all beings, and send it to yourself. May I be happy, safe, and free. I'd like to add an extra wish for all of us. May we be resilient. May we be strong. This is a challenging time, but we can do challenging things. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you, guys. No class Monday on Labor Day.
Thanks, Anna. Wait, no class Monday?
No class Monday for Labor Day. There are some classes